It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show on this Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, you may be familiar with the story of Stacey Fru. Now, she's a dynamic young author who wrote her first book at the age of 7, and since then, she's gone on to become a multi-award-winning author, winning the 2016 National Development Agency Award for Best ECD Publication 2015 Special Mention category for her first book, Smelly Cats. Now, her book has also been chosen by the Department of Basic Education to act as supplementary reading material at primary schools. And this morning, Stacey and her mom, Victorine Fru, join us to talk about Stacey's journey as well as the parenting conundrums that have come with parenting a gifted child. And it's fantastic to welcome them both here. Let's give them a warm round of applause, guys. Stacey and Victorine, very good morning.
Good morning to you.
It's so exciting to have you here and great to have your company to chat about your success, Stacey.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing.
Thank you so much.
Tell me about the reason why you even... Smelly Cats, firstly, that's a very interesting title. We might get into that. But what motivated and inspired you to want to write a book?
So my main motivation was to sort of spike my mother for writing a book without telling me. So my whole idea was to kind of get her back for writing her book without telling me. So that's what started my whole writing journey.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, I've kind of grown into seeing how my writing has inspired other children to go ahead and do what they want. So that also pushes me to go ahead and write.
So, Mom Victorine, what did you say when you heard that? Well, Mom, because you wrote your master's thesis or your book without telling me, I'm going to write my own book. What did you think about that?
Okay, so basically, Stacey wrote the book without telling me.
Yeah.
So I didn't know she was writing. I only found out when she finished writing. And first, I didn't believe she had written because I couldn't imagine that a 7-year-old had written a book.
Yes.
I thought she copied from somewhere. So I struggled to find books on her desk. Nothing similar. Tried to Google. I couldn't find anything. And then I went to her school to find out what exactly happened, and nobody had given her any homework. So in the first few days were days of doubt.
Yeah.
My husband was away. When he came back, we discussed it, and then he said to me, go and talk to the principal. So I went to the principal, nobody knew anything, and then we started the interrogation process like you're doing now. Why did you write? What do you want to do with the book? And eventually there's a lady here in the Western Cape, her name is Pauline Visa. She was the editor of my master's thesis.
Yes.
Eventually, she's the person who gave us confidence that Stacey's book could be worthy.
Yes.
Because I had to consult 3 experts, and she was the first person who came back and said, you know what, try it. And here we are today.
And so then, once you've discovered this, you understand that your child is gifted, and you're like, oh, my word. Now we have to take a step forward because this is not just an ordinary book. It's something that could be enriching to the lives of so many other children out there. What happens next? How do you then go about... Because you had to self-publish.
Yes, we had to eventually. But the first thing we did was I sent it to Pauline, the lady I'm talking about. And Pauline read the book and approved of the book and then said to me, I'll edit for free, I'll illustrate for free. And when she said that, it sort of gave me confidence. And then she helped me look for publishers, which we found. We found a publisher in the UK who was very willing to publish Stacey. But one thing made us to take the self-publishing route. She said her name was Mary, and Mary said to me, we're going to offer Stacey a 1 year's free writing course on the package that you chose. But for me, it wasn't a wow. I didn't want her... Because she had written without us knowing, I wanted her to keep writing naturally.
Yes,
I didn't want her to be taught. And I started thinking, it means these people are going to commercialize her. So I didn't see it evolving, but I was just worried that if she wrote naturally, unfortunately, my husband accepted that, so we kept it natural.
So, Stacey, from a natural point of view and natural inspiration, where do you get your ideas from, and why is it that that particular thing inspires you?
I think that I get my idea from many aspects of what I do in my everyday life. So I think I mostly get it from what I've previously read or previously saw previous events happening. So I also try to just kind of fictionalize it and add new things or more things to make it more interesting as well.
Wow. How many books do you have in the works right now?
I'm currently working on my 8th book, even though the 3 are only published. Yes.
That is absolutely incredible. I'm so fascinated by you, and I can't wait to find out more. And Mom, you've done a stellar job. What a great support structure you are to Stacey, and I only wish you the best in this journey. But I'm going to ask you to stick around for a little while longer because we are fascinated by your journey. We'd love to explore it some more.
Thank you.
Wow, guys, how's that for your inspiration on a Wednesday morning? Come on! Wow!
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, on SABC3. We're hanging out this morning with Stacey Fru and her mom, Victorine Fru. And of course, Stacey, you may know as one of the youngest authors to have ever won the national award, the National Development Agency Award for Best ECD Publications in 2015. And she's gone on to write many more books. In fact, one of her books was submitted by the Department of Basic Education as supplementary reading material in primary schools. And that is amazing. How did you feel when you heard that was going to happen, Stacey?
I didn't understand it at the time. I was still very, very young when it happened. So I was about 8 years old when I first got the award. So I was still new to the whole award getting thing because it was my first ever award as well.
Yeah.
And so I was a little bit confused but happy as well.
It's absolutely amazing. And you were telling me about what Smelly Cats is all about, the book, and I can understand how it feeds into what young children are going through at school. So brilliant, brilliant stuff. Mom, you have a family of 4 children in total. What are the challenges of raising such gifted children?
Gifted children, yeah. Here, I think one of the biggest challenges is that we haven't, as parents, come to understand that children have a voice that is stronger and sometimes stronger than the parents' voice. And that children have to also assert themselves in their circumstances, not necessarily the circumstances that we preempt for them. You know, so with Stacey and my older, Stacey is the second child, Stacey and my older son, it really, really is challenging because both of them have strong personalities and they want to be heard, they want to be known. But also, it's enjoyable. The biggest fear is what their future holds.
Okay.
That for me and my husband, our biggest fear is what their future holds. Are we able to fill their cups? Are we able to be that parent that the type of child like this would expect, you know? But we decided, you know what, we have to go with the flow.
Yeah.
A few months ago, Stacey wanted to be a doctor, and we were like, okay, fine, be a doctor. And now she doesn't know what she want to be. So we go with the flow and we support them. No pressure at all, because the tendency with parents with gifted children is that, you know, like they usually say, if you win something, you feel good, but the pressure on you actually like multiplies or triples.
Yeah.
So we try not to put that pressure on us as parents.
Yeah.
We try not to put the pressure on the children. So we try to go with the flow, which is hard but possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Stacey, for you, after attaining all of the success, do you feel the pressure that your mom is talking about to keep producing books, to keep writing even better as you go on along?
Definitely.
Yeah?
The pressure's always going to be there. And the more I achieve, I guess, the more the pressure builds on as well.
Yeah. How do you manage what you do? Because, I mean, you are assuming the role of a fully fledged author, you are a writer, you are producing material, but you also of school-going age, and there are other pressures associated with that as well. How do you manage your life?
I think I've gotten quite used to it as the years have gotten on, and like I get more interviews now and I have more people coming up to me. I think I sort of manage my time differently than I were to maybe last year or even 2 years ago. So I think I've kind of gotten into and used to their whole routine now.
Yeah. What would your advice be to other youngsters coming up? Because, I mean, I think for most of us, it takes us a very long time to discover our passions and what it is that we love doing and what we're good at, and then combining those two. You discovered it at a very young age. What would you say to them to encourage them to discover their passions and to follow their heart?
I think I'd say to them that just try new things and keep an open mind. And another thing with reading is that it really opens you up to a lot of new things and a lot of things that can excite you and just invite you to do more and outrageous things. So I think keep an open mind, read some more, go and try new things, explore. We have the internet nowadays, so it's very easy to research on what you want to do and how you want to go about doing it. So use that to your advantage as well.
That's amazing. And you've got... I could listen to you speak all day. You should have a TED Talk on this. What is happening right now? You said that there's other books in the works, and in July, 2 books are coming out, right?
Yes.
So give us a bit of a snippet about that.
Okay, so my 2 books that will be coming out in July, Where's Tammy and Tim's Answer. So Tim's Answer is a book based on how I want to tell African children that we should look for role models within our community and role models that can inspire us within Africa, because we also need to grow Africa as a continent as well. And
Yes.
my other book, the second book called Where's Tammy, is on child kidnapping and child safety. So how I want to raise an awareness for the child kidnapping problem that is going on in South Africa. And I want to get more children and adults aware of the fact that is going on in their communities.
Are you possibly thinking of being president one day?
I'm not sure.
Hey, we'll play this clip one day when you do. But thank you very much for being with us this morning. As I said, you are an inspiration. What a wonderful way to start our Wednesday. And where can we follow your journey, by the way? Online, on social media? I'm not sure if you're that way inclined, if mom is involved. How can we follow your career?
So my mom that manages all my social media platforms. There's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, which is @Stacey Fru. It's just my name, STACEYFRU.
Excellent stuff. Well, Victorine, thank you very much for joining us. And Stacey,
Thank you.
thank you. Come on, give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Stacey Fru and Mom Victorine.